Okay, today we had a little bit of hard time with our angle side side or side side angle triangles. Remember, anytime we have those, we have to use the law of sines. Okay, and anytime we have angle side side or side side angle, there's a possibility of one triangle, and that's if this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an angle, and then I'm going to do side one, and then I'm going to do side two. So if we have side, oh sorry, that should be side two. Let me fix that. Side two. If side two is bigger than side one, there's only one possible triangle. So that's good to know. Okay, so that's the thing we want to know. The other possible one triangle is if side two is the exact length that makes this a right angle right here. So theta, this is side one and this is side two. So if side two equals side one times the sine of theta, then this would be the shortest possible line that could be made right there. And we could go through and we know that this would only be one possible triangle if this is true. Okay, so there's your one triangle, there's your one triangle. Now, if side two is less than side one times sine theta, then we would have a theta right here. This is side one. Side two wouldn't even make a triangle. So that's our possible zero triangles. Okay, then we get to our ambiguous case. So the ambiguous case is, first of all, we have to know that going back to here, we're going to look back at our thing. So we've got side one right here, side two. We know if side two is bigger than side one, it's one triangle. So we know side two must be less than side one. So side two is going to be less than side one, but it also has to be bigger than side one times the sine of theta. That's because that's the smallest triangle. Anything, if it's equal to this, it's one triangle. If it's bigger than this, it's equal to one triangle. And if it's less than this one, then it's zero triangles. So when we go to do this, if this is true, we know we have two triangles. So we've got theta, we've got side one, and then side two can go like this. Side two, because it's smaller than side one, so smaller than side one, but still bigger than this side that would make it a right angle. And then if we were to look at this and say, okay, what if we swung this around to over here, and we'd have side two being over here. Still the exact same length as this side. Those two are the same size, but it's making two different triangles. So for example, if we had, say, I'm just coming up with these numbers on my own. So let's say we had a 40-degree angle here, and we had a side 12 here, and we had this third side we know is 9. Okay, so we want to figure out, does this cause us to have one triangle, two triangles, or zero triangles? So first thing we're going to look at is we're going to go through and we're going to go, okay, I know if this is 40 degrees and this is 12 degrees, then this one right here, I know that my x has to be less than 12. So 9 is less than 12, so that's one of our things. But we also know that it has to be greater than 12 times the sine of 40. So on my calculator, real quick, I'm going to type in 12 times the sine of 40, and I get 7.713. So now I know that my x value is bigger than one triangle and smaller than one triangle. So that means it's going to make two triangles. So I'm going to go and I'm going to draw my two triangles. I got my 12, I got my 40, and I know my 9 goes like this, or I got my 12 and I got my 40, and my 9 could go up like that. So see how it's just taking this and it's swinging it over here. So it's making us this. This angle right here, or right here, is either going to be the acute angle or the obtuse angle. So if we're going to try and figure out what this angle is, we're going to set it up on law of sines. Let me move to the next page. So I've got my two triangles. I got 40 degrees, I got 12, and I got 9. And then I got 40 degrees, I got 12, looks about the same, and then 9. So it goes up like that. Okay, so I'm going to set this up. I'm looking for this angle, so I say sine of 40, oh sorry, I'm going to look for this angle up here. Sine of 40 over 9 equals sine of theta over 12. Okay, go through, solve that. I get 12 sine of 40 over 9 equals sine of theta. Do the arc sine of both sides, I get theta equals the arc sine of 12 sine of 40 over 9. So I don't know if my calculator can do this. Oh no, I have my, sorry, I was trying to use my arc, or my iPhone for a calculator. So I'm going to do the arc sine of 12 times the sine of 40 divided by 9. And I'm just punching this into the calculator, or the cell phone, or sorry, the computer, and I get my theta equals 1.45657.834 radians. Now I want this to be in degrees, so I'm going to multiply it by 180. So times 180 divided by pi. And that comes out to be 83.45 radians. So we'll just say approximately 83.5 degrees. And if you guys are doing this at home with me, then maybe you can check this and see if it really is coming out to that one. So 83.5 degrees is going to be less than 90 degrees, so it's going to be an acute angle. Now you've got to remember, if we were looking at a sine chart, or a unit circle, if this angle was 83.5 degrees, that sine function would also be the same as this sine function, which is 83.5 degrees, because it has the same y value. So we got to do 180 minus 83.5, which gives us, what is that, 96.5? So 96.5 degrees. So we know one of these angles up here, this one or this one, is going to be 96.5, and the other one is going to be 83.5. So we look, that's an obtuse angle, so that one's going to be our 96.5, and this one's going to be our 83.5. Okay? And then the rest of these you guys can figure out just by solving your triangles. So hopefully that helps you. Hopefully it'll help someone, and hopefully you guys can understand this. Don't make it harder than it really is.